This is director's commentary for the film trailer for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. At the very beginning of the trailer, we see a tracking shot of a fighter jet and sound that comes with it, as a sound pan, immediately catching the audience's attention. We are then introduced to the characters.
Probably say yes.
One of which is wearing a blue and white costume with a white star, a mask, and an A on the mask. All symbols synonymous with Captain America. This connotes that is a Captain America film. There is also low-key lighting that connotes mystery and an enigma code.
Was he wearing a parachute?
No. No, he wasn't.
The institution logo Marvel is then presented and gives the audience an idea of what the film may be like, based on other films they have done. We then see a long angle wide shot of a setting in which we can see the White House and Washington Monument in the distance. This lets us know that the setting of the film will be Washington, D.C. This is a conventional location for heroic action movies, as Washington is considered the center of the world, as it is the home of the president. This connotes that in saving Washington in the film, the character will indeed save the world.
Be able to protect people. Captain, to build a better world sometimes means tearing the old one down.
The screen then fades to black and stays while the sound stops. This creates a mysterious feel and further entices the audience. The soundtrack beat then kicks in and starts again, as there is another wide shot of a particular building which connotes it may be the home base of Captain America. There is then a close wide shot of someone's shoes as he steps down from a plane. The character's face nor body is shown. This henceforth gives an enigma code and creates mystery, as we don't know who the character could be. The fact that the impression or feeling of mystery based on the character is being created also suggests that he is a key character in the film. We then see that it is Nick Fury, the commander of S.H.I.E.L.D., indeed an important character. There is then a sequence of close-ups of characters with fades, which is matched with voiceover saying, "Are you ready for the world to see you as you really are?"
Are you ready for the world to see you as you really are?
This is symbolic, as him saying "see" is matched with close-up shots of the characters. This also connotes that they must be heroic characters. Captain America is the last shown, connoting that he is the most important and heroic.
Look out the window.
A shot of flight ships is then shown, suggesting the film is set in a more futuristic time. However, the costumes suggest otherwise, as they are relatively modern. A hospital room is then shown with low-key lighting. This creates a silhouette effect while someone is operated on in the back. This allows the audience to empathize with the character and feel emotion towards the character before even seeing the film. There are then voiceovers of both Nick and the captain, their voices matched with images that relate to what's said. This can be read as a summary of what the film may entail. There is also a fade transition with voiceovers and imagery, which creates an emotional feel.
You need to keep both eyes open.
The voice of Nick then here states, "You need to keep both eyes open." There is then a close-up of Captain America where his eyes are shown whilst he's in a lift with other men. At this same time, the soundtrack slowly builds, this connoting that there will be action in this part of the film, and builds up suspense, helping to entice the audience further. After the action, we then see the month of the release, this spring, a conventional trait to the movie trailers. We are then shown an array of action parts, which are the most exciting parts of the film. Fast cuts are matched with shots as they build towards the end of the trailer. This creates pace and catches the audience's attention, making them want to watch the film more. The soundtrack also continues to match the action.
It's time.
There's then a crescendo in the sound, and the title is matched with an animation of the captain's shield. This is familiar to the audience. After the title, there is a short action epilogue. The audience is likely to not be expecting this. It therefore catches the audience off guard and surprises them. It's an exciting part of the film, and just further draws the audience to watch the film. Although surprising, it is a convention of Marvel films, film trailers. It then flashes to the release time, a convention of most film trailers. The trailer, although not in chronological order, does follow the order of action films in the fact that it starts with a calm balance, equilibrium, before the action comes, a disturbance or disequilibrium. However, the new equilibrium is not shown, as this would otherwise give away the film. This ends the director's commentary of Captain America the Winter Soldier. The trailer begins with the institution, distribution and production companies, a typical convention of film trailers. There is then an establishing shot of the setting. From the shot, the audience can connote that the setting is London. There is then a statement that sets up an enigma, as the audience wishes to know who this brilliant mind is. The voiceover then states, "I want to see Sherlock Holmes."
Sherlock Holmes.
And with the voiceover, there is a long shot of a man. From this, we can connote that the man is Sherlock Holmes.
You and I are bound together.
From mise-en-scène such as costume and setting, we can tell that the film is set in the past. There is then a wide shot of Big Ben and the House of Parliament, which suggests that it's set in London again. The explosion connotes that this is an action film, and the soundtrack and witty comment he makes after suggests that there is element of comedy. The soundtrack further connotes the genre. The voiceover then states that it makes a considerable difference having someone I can rely on.
It does make a considerable difference to me having someone with me on whom
As
I
this
can-
is said, there is a close-up of a shot of a man, which connotes that he is the one being spoken about.
Thoroughly reliable.
Oh, it's nice to see you, Watson.
Lord Blackwood.
The witness stated that he saw Lord Blackwood rise from the grave.
The costumes and props shown here connote witchcraft and mystery, and hence relate to the time period and give an idea of the film's storyline. The trailer is evidently set as a non-linear narrative, as the shots used are shown out of order. This, however, is a common convention of movie trailers. The lighting in the trailer remains quite dark and hence connotes mystery and suspense. Also, to match the genre.
First point of attack, right ear. 2, throat. 3, cracked ribs. In summary, neutralized. You've never complained about my methods before?
Here the voiceover is matched with images that relate to the narration, showing the audience what kind of person Sherlock is. The images are also of the most exciting parts of the film, and further entice the audience to watch the film. This is conventional of most film trailers.
I never complain. When do I complain about you practicing the violin at 3 in the morning? Your general lack of hygiene or your experiment on my dog?
Just kill the dog. Again.
Another voiceover then states, "I want to change the world, but I'll settle for ending yours."
I wanted to change the world, but I'll settle for ending yours.
This suggests that there is binary opposition in the film, good versus bad, and connotes that there is heroism in the film.
I wish you would.
Get that out of my face.
It's not in your face, it's in my hand.
Get what's in your hand out of my face.
They've been flirting like this for hours.
Here the main actors' names are shown, a convention of film trailers. A point of view is then used as the chain comes towards the camera. This makes the audience feel as though they are in the film and creates tension. The building of the soundtrack also creates suspense. And after the title, there is an epilogue, something I have found to be quite conventional with action films. It further entices the audience to watch the film, as it usually contains a part that best represents the film and is most interesting. After the epilogue, titles are shown, and then the release date, which is something that is also conventional of many film trailers.
You know what it is I love about being Spider-Man?
The trailer begins with a person soaring through a city. After the camera has zoomed into the character, we notice that it's a character that many may identify as simply a denotation of a person in a red and blue costume. However, through assumptions, many will be able to use the denotation of the red and blue colored costume, the spider-looking symbol in these costumes' chest, and being able to swing around the city to connote that the character is Spider-Man. This is important to the audience as it helps to identify the potential main character of the film, and also help to attract the primary audience who has seen the character of Spider-Man before and may be a fan of the character. The audience will be intrigued to continue watching the trailer. The use of two-shot camera angle of the male and female characters helped to connote the relationship of the two characters. As one character is a male and the other is a female, this may make the audience assume that the two are in a loving relationship. Frequent use of brisk cuts of different scenes of Spider-Man are seen for about 10 seconds, including a slow motion effect that allows the audience to fully grasp the surrounding that the character is in, and could create enigma codes as to what country that this character is currently in. Also, the use of long take helped to emphasize the importance of the character to the film by non-verbal communication. The character is seen for a long period of time, which connotes that the character could be the main character. The denotation of a yellow and black car could connote to the audience that the car is likely to be a taxi car. These colors of the car are traditionally associated to taxis that are seen in America. This is a conventional car to use when a film is based in the USA, as these taxis are one of the most popular vehicles to travel with, especially in New York. The taxis help the audience suggest what country the film is based within. Also, it helps to show the audience what they would expect to see if they ever visited New York.
Peter Parker, Harry Osborn. It's been 10 years.
The mise-en-scène helps to express the likely personality and age of the characters. In one scene, we see a male in a suit and in a suit. The denotation of a suit connotes maturity due to the stereotypical remarks that older adults wear suits, and adults are stereotyped to be mature. The character looks quite young, which is unusual to see them in such clothing as adults usually wear suits. This may connote that the character is mature for his age. Suits also connotes luxury and riches. Therefore, it could suggest that the character has a rich background and lifestyle, and could create enigma codes of how does this character make his money.
What have you been up to?
The editing effect of depth of field has been used effectively to connote the audience who is the main focus of the scene. Shadow focus blurs out the backgrounds so that the viewer's attention are on the two characters that are actually in focus. It also connects to possible relationships that these characters have to the audience, and may question with enigma codes. What does these characters have in common? The other characters wearing jeans, trainers, and a jacket. This is a clear contrast of clothing between characters. This sort of clothing has connotations of young casual teenagers. The juxtaposition of both contrasts of mise-en-scène through clothing emphasize the difference in the characters. However, they have the connection with each other. Enigma codes are bound to be created and to explore the connection these characters have with one another. This could possibly persuade the viewers to continue watching the trailer or be intrigued to go and watch the whole film.
I do some web design.
The non-diegetic sound in the background is quite dramatic. This type of music is conventional superhero films, as it is usually upbeat with the use of drums. This instrument helps to create the sense of anticipation that something is going to take place.
He was Oscorp. He had you under surveillance. Why? Isn't that the question of the day? Nothing is what I thought it was.
I once told you that secrets have a cost.
Over is used frequently in the trailer. The pitch increases over the background. This may be because the trailer wants to make it obvious that the dialogue in the trailer is important within the film and should be acknowledged by the audience. It sometimes explains the narrative of the film. Also, as it is a superhero film, the binary opposition is likely to be a good person versus an evil person, hero versus villain. The voiceover can help the audience link the voices to the character, whether they are good or bad.
The truth does too.
My name is Richard Parker. I have discovered what Oscorp was going to use my research for.
What is all this?
The future.
The denotation of multiple electronic billboards compacted into one area, Kodak logo and advertisement,